Evening peeps, evening, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the minis. It's Monday night mini mayhem tonight. We are live with round 7 of the TANSO Racing Group CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup tonight. Round 7 live from Tsukuba Circuit. Short little punchy circuit, plenty of opportunities to have a punch up round here with other drivers. Plenty of opportunities to get it wrong as well. Lots of hairpins to get nudged out on, spin it around on. Let's see what happens. Let's have a look at some scores. I'm hoping these are up to date. I think they are. So let me just pull that up a little bit. So it is Rob Scott leading at 239 points, but nipping at his heels is Pajonski with 238 points. Cutler's in third with 221 points. Hattelad in fourth with 217 points. DDR IT 43 in fifth is 196 points. D-Dot 90 in sixth position, 177 points. He's fighting for top 5 tonight. Well, that's what he said in the chat earlier. Old Crawler 7th, he's got himself 158 points. We've got Ricky J 1800 in 8th. He's got 138 points. Number 1 Pops in 9th, he's got 130 points. One Eyed Lou in 10th, he has got himself 74 points. Drac Fury in 11th, 56 on board. 12th for DDR Jonesy, he's got himself 30 points. Paddle Shifter 13th with 28 points, and Trucks B with 20 points. We've not seen the latter of the drivers, the Drac Fury, Jonesy, Paddle Shifter, Trucks B, etc. for a while. I think we saw Drac Fury the other week, did we? He's not in the room tonight. So that's points up until now. Merch still available, people. T-shirts and stickers. If you want any of those, hit me up, dartsmoker at googlemail.com, or hit me up in a chat or on the Facebook page via Facebook Messenger, whatever you want. Right, let's get ourselves in this room then. Let me make sure I turn the sound on for you lot. Tell me what it sounds like. Is it too loud, too quiet? Make sure you can hear me. Can you hear the cars? Blah, blah, blah. All that malarkey. Share it out as well. Make sure you tell your mates, tell your mums, etc. Get them all watching. Right. Let's pick up the old panorama. Probably the keyboard as well. Lobbed on the floor because I didn't need it for PS5, but there you go. Smash it. So we're into qualifying already. Let's get ourselves in. Just remember how to use this. Yep. Right, so we are 5 minutes into quali already. Alright, okay, let's get ourselves on board with Pajonski. He's just started a fresh lap. So into turn 1. Great big sweeping right hand hairpin. Down through the little left right kink to the second hairpin on this circuit. Tricky, tighter, that one. Through the 90-degree right hander. Again, there's going to be an absolute punch up here tonight. A lot of these drivers are very close in terms of speed, etc. We're going to be all closing it together into the final hairpin of this one, and then again nice and tight. And then a long back straight to try and get the drag on somebody up towards the final turn. And if you're brave enough, there has been times where the drivers have been side by side for a few laps here. It's quite a wide circuit. You switch from one side of the track to the other. If you can stay side by side with somebody, you can actually get 2 cars around this circuit gently. It is you have to be a little bit careful, but it is Podjonski leading at the minute. He's got himself a 1 minute and 2 seconds .4. I say that. Rob Scott, the cheeky chocolate monster's just come through with a 1:02.480, 1,000th quicker than Podjonski at the minute. Must be on the diet dairy milks tonight. So Podjonski now pushed into second, IT43 third, currently 1:02.561. Hatterlad 1:02.578. Fourth position, Cutler in fifth, 1:02.6. D.6, he's got, oh no hot lap, he's purple sectors though on this one. See if he moves up the field. Seventh for number 1 Pops, he is a 1:03.2. Mickey J in 8th, 1:03.4. Jonesy, he's got a 1:03.5 for 9th, and Old Crawler in 10th, 1:04.1. But we are only halfway through qualifying now. Then did D-Dot move up the field? Has he crossed the line yet? Here he goes. Oh, he's up to 6, 1:02.6. So he stays behind Cutler at the minute. Still cheeky chocolate boy, he's leading by 1,000th of a second. Oh, deciding that grass needs a bit of mowing. Checking out whether the shortcut's going to work on race itself. Don't do that, you'll get a penalty. So 3 sprint races tonight. They do have to use 1 set of tyres per race, 1 set of mediums, 1 set of hards and 1 set of softs. Let's see what order they decide to go in tonight. I'm opting that most drivers are going to go for hards, medium, soft, but there could be some drivers out there that go for the mediums in stint 1. I don't know, it's all tight at the top really. There could be a few drivers trying to throw it out there, go for a completely different strategy this week. That's enough of you, Podjonski, IT43. Still holding that third, 1:02.5. Hatter still 4th. Cutler still 5th. D-Dot still 6th. One Pop's gone a bit quicker, 1:03.2, so that sticks him in 7th. Ricky J 8th. He's on at lap 2, 1:03.4. Jonesy 9th, 1:03.5, and Old Crawler still at the back, 1:04.1 so far. So another 5 minutes left of quali. Can anyone unseat Rob Scott? He's found that little tiny extra edge. D-Dot's just gone quicker though. Where's he? 1:02.5. 22 thousandths behind Rob Scott. Starting to close the gap. No fuel or tyre wear on during qualifying. So everyone's opting for super soft to get maximum grip. Oh, why did my TV turn off? Don't do that, television. You scare me when you do that. You shouldn't be doing that. Maybe got HDMI issues. I don't know. Scott then, by the absolute, it's almost like a layer of paint he's got over Podjonski at the minute. Oh, not anymore. D-Dot's having it. He's up there. He's gone and taken pole with a 1:02.408. So Anything now for Rob Scott and Podjonski to do to close up? Pushes everybody else down a position. IT43 Cutler. Pop's still in the same place. Ricky J still in the same place. Jonesy just coming in the pits. Old Crawler. He's gone quicker. 103.9 then on a pit lap. Not quite sure how that's worked, but there he is. Current pole sitter just sneaking it. Still a few minutes left of this qualifying session, so opportunities. Rob Scott tucked up behind D-Dot, wondering where has he found that time. Looking for his lines, plus he's probably getting a little bit of a toe for how close he is. Might just help him while he's down on this lap. Tyres squealing here at Tsukuba. So 3 15-minute sprints. We'll see what tyres drivers come out on in for the first race. And then the top 3 have to carry over a bit of extra weight into race 2. And the same continues from race 2 into race 3. All drivers reset at the end of race 2, obviously. And then the top 3 from race 2 then stick the ballast on. It's now Hatterlad who's thrown himself into pole position. Have some of that. Podjonski's gone quicker as well, but that wasn't enough. He'd gone 6 thousandths quicker than D-Dot. Hatterlad went, yeah, have some of that. 0.048 quicker. 102.354 for Hatter. The Luton Tan maniac. Liveries of Hatters seem to be rocking that Luton Town livery, unfortunately. No, we won't pick on him again for his livery. You can't help him. Oh, Podjonski, bet you thought you'd just nip that. I'll have that pole, he said. Hatter was like, nope, not today. D-Dot's still out on track though. What are we, 14 minutes, so they do get to finish any laps they are on. So if they cross the line before that 15 minutes, they still get to finish that lap. Can D-Dot find the time? Can Rob Scott come back? IT43 been pushed down another position into 5th. Was he? No, I think he was 5th anyway after D-Dot came through. Cutler almost running it off track as he pushes to try and find that time. He's currently sitting in 6th. 15 seconds left on the race timer, so this will be it for everyone pretty much. 5 seconds. We've got a couple of drivers coming up to the line. It's going to be IT43 that crosses the line first, so he's sitting 5th. Cutler's ghosting, so he must be settling for that 6th position at the minute, unless any of these drivers behind can go quicker. Number 1 pops. Stays 7th. Who's that? Old Crawler. Unable to go quicker, unfortunately, so stays 10th. Who else have we got out on track? Rob Scott, who's coming up to the line, is Podjonski. And gets into 2nd. D-Dot's 3rd. Rob Scott coming up to the line as well. Let's see what he can put in. been able to find a little bit more time. Hugging that inside corner of the last corner. No, so Hatter then, pole position, spinning those tyres up, burning them out before the race. No need. .3 then from Hatter. Yeah, poor old Pajonsky just nipped D-Dot back, got himself back onto pole. Hatter must have been following him maybe. So everyone throwing themselves into the pits then, figuring out what tyres they want to put on. I do have to change the, yeah, we do have to change the settings for the race, put the tyre wear back on and stuff like that. Fuel depletion on. Let me in. Yes, so super soft's gone then. Only able to be used in Hatter evening. We're not picking on your livery at all. What was I saying? I forget. Let's get himself in. Right. Let's see what tyres people have come out on. Hatterlad's gone for hards in stint 1, race 1. Jonesy Hards, old crawler, has gone for hards. Ricky J has gone for hards. Sorry, mediums. Waiting for everyone else to join the room. Yeah, mediums and hards majority so far. Not seen anybody on soft yet. Don't do that. So waiting for Cutler to join the room then, but everybody else in. And I would expect Cutler to stick a set of hards or mediums on for race 1. He's not. Okay, Cutler's in the room as well. He's got a set of hards on himself. So all drivers ready to go then. Let's see how they get on here at Tsukuba. Again, real punchy circuit this one. Hairpins, you'll see people slinging it up the outside, up the inside. There'll be door banging and little nudges, and grass driving and oof, oof, lefts and rights and lefts and hairpin and yeah. Here we go then, race 1 about to start. 15-minute punch up here at Tsukuba. Everybody on a set of hards or mediums. Nobody opted for the softs for race 1. Hatter sitting on pole then. Everyone giving us a little flash of the lights. Give me a different camera. Damn it. Damn you, game. Both games do my head in. Cameras. Give me more options. Here we go then. Lights about to go out. Oh, it's a great big peel over to the right hand side there for Hatter, cutting off any kind of chance for Pajonsky. Guido also looking up the inside into turn 1. Thanks, PlayStation. Let's change that up to a bit of that. So on board with Hatter then. He did manage to hold on to the lead, but Pajonsky here then, ooh, having a look into that second hairpin. 3 wide as they come out of there in the background. 2 wide behind as Pajonsky and D-Dot battling out for second and third. Oh, Cutler's run wide as he battles out with IT43 and Rob Scott. Let's get the... Damn it. That one. That's what we want. So Hatterlad leads then as we come onto the back straight for lap 1. Pajonsky second, right in his slipstream. D-Dot third. Rob Scott. Oh, 3 wide coming up here. I don't even want to look. IT43 and Cutler 3 wide into the final turn. IT43's just got the advantage, but Rob Scott looks like he might be able to try and sneak one up the inside as they come into turn 1. It's all kicking off here at the front as well. D-Dot and Hatter. Johnski made his way through, but he's been pinned off at turn 1. Finds himself almost at the back of the pack, side by side with Jonesy as they come through at the exit of turn 1. And he's still battling for that 9th position. He gets himself through though. Jonesy takes a nice little shortcut through there. Dear. Fizzy Pop, Hatter then under threat. He's got 3 drivers pressing him now for that first position. D-Dot, Rob Scott, IT43. They're actually swapping positions as they go through these turns. 3 wide again as they go through that final hairpin. This is nuts. This is one of those circuits. Got to take the child seats out. They might have, you know. Number 1 Pops just hanging on to the back end of Jonesy as they come. Oh, Hatter's gone wide in the final turn. D-Dot goes through to take the lead. Hatter scoops back into the slipstream of Rob Scott, trying to defend 3rd. He might have gone deep there. So it's D-Dot from Rob Scott from IT43 now. Hatter in 4th. Cutler on the back end of this fight now. 5th, Ricky J. Just 0.6 of a second back. Old Crawler, Johnski battling it out for 7th and 8th. Johnski trying to find his way back through the field. We'll get a good toe off the drivers in front. Old Crawler in 8th then. Jonesy in 9th. Number 1 Pops 10th. Still really close together, these drivers. Rob Scott now gets himself through into the lead. Will he be able to hold on to it as they come up the long straight? This people were saying it was going to be like touring car. On board with current race leader Rob Scott then. That is D-Dot and IT43 hunting him down. Gap starting to develop a little bit. Hatter had fallen off the back of this fight a tiny bit. Ricky J, what's happened to Cutler's decided to throw himself off circuits. Ricky J now into 5th position. Not too far off the back end of Pajonski. Sorry, off of Hatterlad. Pajonski not far off the back of him either. And they come through that second hairpin into the 90-degree right-hander. Still Rob Scott holding on to this one. Needs to make that break again away from these drivers on the hard tyre. But it's a difficult circuit to do that on. Oh, okay, D-Dot's on the mediums as well. IT43 medium, so the top 3 all on the mediums. Hatterlad on the hards, doing his best to keep up. 1.6 seconds, was doing well then. He just misjudged the speed, trying to keep up with these boys. Johnski on the mediums, back into 5th position, got himself past Ricky J. But what happened to Cutler? Where did you decide to sling yourself off? Nolan, let's go fellas. Yeah, they're on one, the minis. I tell you, this circuit in the minis, these little short courses are properly punchy. Number 1 Pop then got himself past Jonesy. Jonesy now in 10th. Rob Scott still leading. D-Dot's right on his tail though, and IT43 is just 0.6 of a second back. Clinging on in there. Rob Scott's having to go defensive into most of these corners to hold it off D-Dot at the minute. These little minis screeching their tyres as they come through these tight hairpins. Johnski up into 4th then, side by side with Hatter as they come into this final turn. This is where we saw Hatter fire himself off. Johnski then on those mediums through into 4th. He's got a bit of a hunt then. He's got 2.6 seconds to try and make up on that top 3. Hatterlad's not making it easy for him. Again, side by side through turn 1. Johnski's got the power though with the mediums on, just been able to pull that a little bit quicker, a little bit harder than Hatter on the hards. Ricky J holding that 6th position, Cutler 7th. sure what happened to him, but he's lost a few positions. Old Crawler in 8th. Number 1 Pops still 9th. And Jonesy 1.6 back in 10th. It's all about the top 3 here. It's a proper punch up. Oof, Rob Scott. D-Dot just had his nose up the inside on the exit of that turn, but wasn't able to keep the power down. Let's get ourselves on with a D-Dot star. You can actually go and watch D-Dot's race live. I think he races from Bumper Cam, this one. So if you want to go and watch D-Dot's race, get yourself over to D-Dot Racing over there on Facebook. Go say hello, tell him I sent you, then come back here. So IT43 falling back a little bit more. He's 0.9 of a second back from D-Dot at the minute. And there is Bajonski fighting his way back through the field, just behind IT43 as well. Rob Scott still under pressure here from D-Dot. Again, having to hold it on the right hand side on the way into this hairpin, just to stop any kind of threat from D-Dot flinging one up the inside. 2.2 of a second back. Up towards this final turn again, D-Dot has a little look. Again, Rob Scott holds on to it, sticks it straight in the middle of the track, and peels it over to the right hand side again, just to go that little bit defensive from D-Dot. What are we? Nearly 8 minutes into race 1, 7 minutes remaining. And these two have been at it since the lights went out. Absolutely neck and neck, these two. DDR IT43 doing his best to hang on a second back now. Bajonski's not been able to make any time, up 2.6 back. Hatter's holding 5th, but Ricky J hot on his tail in 6th, just 0.3 of a second back. Cutler 7th, 1.5 back. Old Crawler in 8th, 3.3 back. Number 1 Pops is 3.8 back in 9th. Jonesy lost a bit more time as well. Oh, Jonesy's picked up front end damage. That's a trip to the pits, but that's race over really if it's a trip to the pits to get repairs. These short 15-minute sprints don't warrant the time to be able to go in the pits really, unless you've made some kind of miracle 25-second, 30-second leap up front. Look at these two, absolutely neck and neck still. 9 minutes in. Tyres looking good for both of these drivers on the mediums. Again, these if it finishes like this, Rob Scott, D-Dot and IT43 would have to carry over a little bit of extra weight into race 2. First place carries the most weight, second place would carry slightly less weight, and third place would carry a little less weight. Standard weight is 1050 on these minis. So third place, which would be IT43, he would weigh 1085 in race 2. D-Dot would weigh 1097, is it? And then Rob Scott is 1105 or 1109. I can't remember. It's about that. So drivers are spreading out. Rob Scott and D-Dot still pretty much bumper to bumper, just 0.5 of a second between them now. They pulled a bit more time over IT43 as well, that gap to 1.3 seconds. Bajonski into 4th, but 2.7 seconds back. He's not going to be able to get onto the podium, I don't think, without a mistake from one of those drivers in front. Hatterlat still under pressure from Ricky J. That is allowing Cutler to close his gap back up as well. Might be a three-way fight for 5th come the end of this race. Ricky J putting the pressure on Hatter. There's a medium tyre versus hard tyre fight here. Ricky J looking again up the inside. Cutler now just a second back on that hard tyre as well. Crawler's getting rid of that hard tyre in race 1, as is number 1 Pops, and as is Jones. He's still holding that damage as well, unfortunately. Again, these short 15-minute sprints just don't give you the time, not without throwing it in the bin, really. Rob Scott then, he's pulled a little bit more time out. D-Dot just runs himself a tiny bit wide through there. Oh, and there as well. Oh, he needs to keep that on track. IT43 will be looking for that second position now. Dirty tyres on D-Dot's Mini as well as he comes through that hairpin. And IT43 now just a quarter of a second back. Nearly 12 minutes into race 1, 3 minutes left. And the battle now on for second here. D-Dot and IT43. Rob Scott up front has now got a 2.2 second lead. In the clear, so to speak, for now. If he can hold on to it for these next 3 minutes, Rob Scott. IT43 piling that pressure on. Let's get ourselves a little bit of on board with IT43. Oh, D-Dot's run deep through there as well. IT43 goes up the inside, but if D-Dot can get the power down, he'll have the advantage into this next turn. He does as well. But still battling, looking to come around the outside into the hairpin now then, IT43, and he's got it done. Now, what can D-Dot do? Does he get the power on the way out? He has. Nose up the inside. This is what I'm talking about, Tsukuba. It's absolutely bumper to bumper and door banging all the way through this one. To the final turn then. Let's change that camera back up. Still neck and neck. D-Dot's going to have the advantage into turn 1, but look at the gap now for Rob Scott. 3.6 seconds. He's got 1 minute 45 left to keep going. It's going to be 2 laps, I think. IT43 is giving D-Dot a flash of the lights. I'm right here, buddy. Don't make any mistakes like that one. Ooh, again, that's where D-Dot just runs it a little bit wide, but it does keep him on the right side of the circuit for this corner. But there you go. IT43 who sweeps around the outside. Thank you very much. Straight into second position. Not sure if D-Dot was just left napping a little bit, but IT43 is not going to let a little mistake like that go. But it is Rob Scott. Look at this, 4.3 seconds. He was under threat from D-Dot for most of that race. And that tiny little mistake onto the grass here at Tsukuba sent him 4.2 seconds back, and more than that, 4.4 seconds back. Third place now, so this will be final lap. Rob Scott might just see one more sneaky one. He might. It's going to be so close, but he's got plenty of time behind him. 4.6 seconds back to this battle. IT43 still hanging on to it. D-Dot's strategy not working. That has allowed Johnski to close up, but I don't think it's going to be enough before the end of the race, unless these two have a little bit of a coming together. It is coming up to the final couple of corners as well. We will get ourselves on board with Rob Scott, race leader, 4.6 seconds, 4.8 seconds now. IT43 up the back straight, hanging over to that right hand side, cutting off any threat from D-Dot to have a move. But it is going to be Rob Scott that takes the win here in race 1. IT43 is going to come home for second position. D-Dot takes third, but Johnski comes home in fourth. Oh, he lost a bit more time at the end there. Ricky J comes home in fifth, takes Hattelad, who only just takes sixth from Cutler in seventh. Old Crawler in eighth. Number 1 Pops is going to take ninth. Jonesy, unfortunately with that damage, comes home in 10th position. So that's race 1 done. We've got two. Oh, let's allow Jonesy to finish the race, shall we? There we go, backwards. and into the pit wall. That's what we want. So that's race 1 done and dusted. 2 more races coming up. 2 more 15-minute sprint races. Reverse grid now for race 2. And again, the top 3 carry over that little bit of extra weight into race 2. And then when we go into race 3, the grid order is set on race positions, final race positions from race 2. The top 3 still have to carry that weight over. All cars get reset into the end of race at the end of this race. But then yes, the top 3 from this race then carry that weight over into race 3. So is Podjonsky going to ask for a P break in between one of these races? He's got to. I think every race this season he's asked for a P break. 2 minutes. Got to go for a P. Let's see what happens. See if we get one. He's not in the chat at the minute. He's not chatting. Yeah, some really good racing between D-Dot and Rob Scott. Well, from the top 5 or 6 really for, I'd say, the first half of the race, if not a little bit more. Still Podjonsky not asking for a wee break. All right. Go Gadget Commode then Podjonsky maybe. So the weights just been put up in the PlayStation chat. So first place from race 1 will now weigh 1109 kilos. Second place will weigh 1097, and third will weigh 1085. Again, standard weight for these minis is 1050. So it is a great big chunk of weight they're carrying. Podjonsky's on track. Podjonsky's on track. No wee break for race 2. But we might see one for race 3. We don't know. Always before an enduro, in between quali and the race. Always. So have we got any rogue drivers gone for the softs for race 2? Mediums on for Old Crawler, hards on for Rob Scott. Oh, there we go. Softs on for Podjonsky. He's got rogue. Softs on for Pops as well. He's got softs for race 2. D-Dot is on the hards. Mediums on for Jonesy. Hards on for Ricky J. Hatterlad is on the mediums. IT43 is on the hards. Just await Cutler's arrival. There he is. Cutler's on the mediums. So just Podjonsky and who else was it? Number 1 Pops, I think. Europe. Yeah, number 1 Pops and Podjonsky both opting for the softs in race 2. And here we go. Podjonsky's just giving Rob Scott a quick shunt off the circuit there before race 2. I think all these boys, or the majority of these boys, are all in a chat as well, so God knows what they're on about, God knows what they're talking about. So Jonesy is going to lead us away for race 2 here, followed by number 1 Pops, Old Crawler, Cutler, Hatterlad, Ricky J, Podjonsky, D-Dot, IT43, and then Rob Scott. Wait for these lights to go green. They're away then. Big piles of smoke. Who is going to win out into turn 1? It is number 1 Pops who's got the inside line into that corner. Gets his braking done early as well. Doesn't sling one off the circuit. Jonesy's coming back at him though. There's a big pile of drivers in the back. Pops then down into the second hairpin. Jones, he has a quick look at the inside, but number 1 Pops cuts that idea straight off. Jonesy second, but he's coming out of that corner slow. Cutler's now slotted his way through into second position. Jonesy third then. Crawler fourth. Hatterlad into fifth. D.6. Pajonsky seventh. IT43 in eighth. Rob Scott in ninth. And Ricky J in 10th. Still number one Pops leads 1.4 seconds on the medium tyres, is he? Let's put that in. Oh no, he's gone for the softs. Of course he has number one Pops. Can he make them work in this race? Get himself a win on the board. Cutler 1.2 seconds back. Cutler's on the medium tyre. He is known to whisper a set of tyres around any circuit for any length pretty much. Jonesy holding third. Old Crawler under pressure now though. There's a big pile of drivers looking for a way past him. We've got Hatterlad, Pajonsky and D-Dot. We need to get on board with Old Crawler, I think, while he's getting a bit swamper-domped. There he is. Pajonsky then chasing him down. Hatterlad, oh, he's allowed Pajonsky up the inside. He's gone a little bit wide through that hairpin. Hatterlad unable to make that one stick though. So loses a position to Pajonsky. No coming back as they head up this long back straight, but Pajonsky's got the inside line into this final turn. Hatterlad's having a little look up the inside as well, but Old Crawler sweeps back across the circuit to back him off. Maybe he'll have a look into turn one. Maybe not close enough. Oh, there he goes. Late on the brakes into turn one. Gets himself up the inside. Has it cost him on the exit? Has it cost him in his fight with D-Dot? No. There you go. Old Crawler back on the power. Gets himself back in front of Hatter. Hatter now under threat himself from D-Dot. On the revs there. Let's get ourselves back up front and see what's happening. Number one Pops then lost a lot of that time then. He was leading by about 1.2 seconds. Cutler known to be fast anyway on the mediums, closing that gap up on him. Just 0.8 of a second back at the minute. Jonesy holding third, 2 seconds back. Has got a mirror full of Pajonsky, just 0.3 of a second back. Pajonsky also on that soft tyre. He needs to make those work as well. Jonesy sees Pajonsky have a little look, closes the door on him. So unfortunately Jonesy's slow out of that first turn, so Pajonsky's going to come back through the little sweeping left-right. Oh, there's a nudge there from Jonesy. Pajonsky keeps it pointing in the right direction, but unfortunately loses a lot of time. Still battling for that third position as well from Jonesy. Now into third. Is Jonesy going to fight back into the hairpin? It's just about to get a bit tasty for the front two as well. Hatter, Old Crawler, D-Dot, Rob Scott, IT43. Look at that big battle. Ricky J hanging on to the back of this one as well. Number one Pops coming under increased threat for that lead. Tight through there for number one Pops. Slow on the exit though. Unfortunately, Cutler's going to get himself past, I think. He's got his nose up the inside into turn one. Number one Pops then. Yeah, gives plenty of room. Cutler goes through into first then. Pops just needs to think about hanging on to the back end of Cutler. Again, he's on that soft tyre, but I don't know whether he's going to have the pace to stick with Cutler, even if Cutler's on those mediums. We'll see, though. So, Pajonsky back into that third position. Hatter's also got himself, or has he? Past Jonesy. Look at this. There's an Old Crawler in the mix there as well. There's a D-Dot just getting himself through into sixth position. Look at that big train of drivers. Hatterlad, Jonesy, D-Dot, Old Crawler, IT43, Rob Scott, Ricky J, just 1.7 seconds back. bumper as they're running up that back straight. Cutler then still leading. Number one Pops has not managed to regain that first position, but hanging on to that lead driver at the minute. Pajonsky 1.7 seconds back again. Needs to make those soft tyres work. He will be able to close the gap up on Cutler. Still having to think about a little bit. He's still having to think a little bit about number one Pops making a bit of a move, and I think that's just helping Pajonsky. He's able to stick to his race lines. Again, he's on that slightly faster tyre with the softs. 1.7 seconds back from the race leader. He is visibly closer to number one Pops, that's for sure. Pops is losing a bit of time again to Cutler. That gap up to 3/4 of a second. There you go, Pajonsky hot on his tail, 0.8 back then. Great big gap back to Hatter in 4th position. Again, he's got his own problems. He's got a D-Dot Old Crawler, an IT43, a Jonesy and a Rob Scott to worry about. Ricky J as well, not too far off the back again. 7 minutes into race 2 then. Not been able to make a break, and there is Pajonsky right on the back end of this fight. Let's get ourselves on board from his perspective. Off! We just catch, where's he gone? Oh, he's kept it on circuit. I thought he'd run himself off wide at that final corner. Not final corner, that last corner. But it was slow on the exit. That has allowed Pajonsky to take that position off him. Into 2nd goes Pajonsky then. Number one Pops in 3rd. Now Pajonsky on the hunt for Cutler, 0.9 of a second back. Medium tyre versus soft tyre. Can Pajonsky get a win here tonight? Still not completely out of danger from behind. Number one Pop still only 3/4 of a second back himself. Blips of the throttle there from Pajonsky. Heading down towards this final hairpin on this circuit. Oh, gap down to 0.4 then, visibly closer to Cutler. Getting the slipstream now, 0.3 of a second. Won't be able to make the move into this final turn. Should be able to hang on to the back, maybe make a bit of a move into turn 1. A little bit of time up on him then. Pajonsky not able to make a move into that first corner. Look at the gap already between themselves and number one Pops. Cutler's really having to drive this Mini then to hold off Pajonsky for this first position. Looking to run around the outside of that second hairpin, back up the inside, but Cutler's going to hold the line through this next right-hander. Defensive route there is Cutler. Now then, can Pajonsky get the run on him up this back straight? Kicks on some dirt. 0.3 of a second back. 0.4. Didn't get the run out of that final corner he wanted. Cutler hangs on to it again. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left on the race clock. The wear starting to show on Pajonsky's softs here. Plenty of life left in Cutler's mediums. Pajonsky's tyres will still be quicker in some sections, not in the tighter turns I don't think. We'll see how he gets on. Can he close this gap back up to 0.6 of a second? He'll be getting frustrated as well due to being able to not get past. More pressure on his tyres. Bringing that time back down, but is it going to be enough before the end of the race? 10.5 minutes gone. Pops still third. Plenty of time between himself and Hatterlad. 3.2 seconds. Hatterlad's still got a mirror full of D-Dot as well. Rob Scott and IT43 almost side by side on the run up this back straight. IT43's holding 6th though. Rob Scott's not going to let him get away with that. Let's see. Rob Scott is carrying the most weight here in race 2. Coming first in race 1 does mean he weighs 1109. Yes, 1109 kilos. Crawler in 8th. Ricky J in 9th. Jonesy 10th. No damage this time for Jonesy. Podjonsky still at it then. Yeah, I think Podjonsky now just struggling on those softs. Let's get ourselves on board, see how much chopping's going on at this wheel. Along through there, keeping it very controlled. Almost had an opportunity there. Nice and smooth here for Podjonsky. Tyres not giving out quite like I thought they would. But they're not able to press Cutler at the minute. 2.5 minutes remaining then. Pops being closed up rapidly now. He's got Hatterlad and D-Dot chasing him down for that 3rd position. Again, he's on the softs, but look at the damage on them. Hatterlad and D-Dot both on the mediums and hards. There's not a lot of damage on either of those really. So number 1 Pops could be under threat here for that 3rd position. Oh, coming very soon as well. These two still at it, but that gap is growing. 0.8 of a second. Yeah, I think it's just a little bit too much wear on Podjonsky's tyres now to try and pester Cutler into a mistake. Pops under pressure himself. Got Hatter and D-Dot looking for that 3rd. He's still got the advantage at the minute. Almost 3 wide as they run into the hairpin. This could be tricky. Podjonsky, Hatter sneaks up the inside. D-Dot's going to look to follow him. Pops has got to be careful he doesn't leave the door open for those 2 drivers behind him as well. He's got Rob Scott, IT43 looking for a way through as well. Crawler 8th, just 1.4 seconds back. Ricky J in 9th, again only 2.3 seconds back. Jonesy only 4.4 seconds back himself. Now Cutler's starting to pull away. Yeah, Podjonsky, his opportunities gone now. 30 seconds left on the race clock. This will become last lap. So Cutler looking good for a win. Race 2 pretty much around this final hairpin and then the final corner to go. It was a good effort from Podjonsky. He did have to come from sort of midfield, but wasn't able to get the positions done prior to catching up with Cutler. It is going to be Cutler then that takes the win here in race 2. Backwards as well, into the wall. Podjonsky's going to come home for 2nd. D-Dot is going to take 3rd. Just Hatterlad takes 4th. IT43 takes 5th. Rob Scott takes 6th. Old Crawler 7th. Number 1 Pops 8th. Ricky J in 9th and Jonesy in 10th. So by the end of that race, only 21 seconds, 21.4 seconds divided the whole field. That's some good going, that is. But now it's on. Now it's on. Last race. It is grid order. Our positions as of race positions from race 2. All the cars are reset to weight, but then the top 3 again carry that weight over. I hope the guys who've got the extra weight on now remember that and take the weight off. So Cutler is now going to weigh 1109 kilos. Andy starts at the front. Pajonsky will weigh 1097. And who came third? Was it Dotster? He's going to be 1085, or whoever it was that was third. Weights being thrown up in the chat again, just to remind everyone. Oh, there we go. It's D-Dot that's gone for the PP. Not Pajonsky. Ray. It's only bloody Ray. Flippin' heck, Ray. I think most people are good in chat. I think most people are good in general. How about that? D-Dot's in the chat. Good racing, bro. Yep. So most drivers have got the softs on for this last race. A couple of drivers with the mediums left. Not sure what Ricky J's doing. To get underway with race 2 here. Sorry, race 3. D-Dot spam in the chat. That's the way. Dropping into share and a like and all that sort of stuff. Yes, Ray. It's only bloody Ray. Do what only bloody Ray is doing. Like, share and comment and sub and tell people and stuff. Whatever other buttons there is on there to press. What else is there? Save it. I don't know. You could save it, I suppose. Do that. I don't know if that helps the algorithm. It might. Ricky J, you maniac. Here we go then. Last race of the evening. The shirts on. All right, boys, back off. It's getting a bit leery. Not in the YouTube chat, but in the PlayStation chat. It's getting a bit feisty. So, oh, why is this reverse grid? This shouldn't be reverse grid. It should be normal grid. Cheers, Rick. Glad you like them. Yeah, I thought so. There you go. So it was still set as reverse grid. Unfortunately, that's not how race 3 format is. Again, it should have been as of results from race 2. So get ourselves back in. Oh, now Jonesy. Oh. Mr. Bucky, evening, brother. I'm fine, thank you very much. How are you, friend? How are you? I hope you're all good. Have to get the old Donington, Canada out soon and see what's going on there. Get the boys back together. Sim racing special down at Donington Park. I think the P1 boys are having a get together there as well for one of the GT races, or the GT race. I'm sure they'll have no problem with anybody else turning up. So yeah, let's go and get together with those maniacs over there at P1. But not tonight. We're here with the TANSO racing group. Again, most drivers have got the softs on for this final race. IT43. Quick stop in for a like. We'll watch back later. No problem, Mr. IT43. No problem. Yes, I think most drivers have got the softs on for the final stint. A couple of drivers have got the mediums left. Old Crawler on the soft. Pajonsky's got... Oh, Pajonsky's got the hards left. Oof, interesting. Start second on the grid though. Can he fend off a big pile of drivers on a set of softs, on a set of hards? I'm saying no. Straight hard, no he can't. D-Dot on the softs. Right, here we go then. Race 3, attempt 2. So again, it should be Cutler, followed by Pajonsky, followed by D-Dot on the grid order. My migraine's fine, mate, now, yeah. It blew me up Wednesday last week. Absolutely blew me up. Can't do anything but sit in a dark room. Slept, actually. Slept all night. Then woke up, migraine, right. Slept again. Slept till about 5 o'clock. It's painful. So, Cutler is on pole then for race 2. Can he get himself in front of Pajonsky before he slings one up the inside at turn 1? Lights are on red. Just wait for them to drop. It is slightly later in the day, a little bit darker on track. You can see all the drivers got the lights on. Cutler does get a good start. Into the lead he goes then. Again on that soft tyre. Pajonsky on the hard. He's got to have his hands full with these drivers behind him. Already making his way up the inside as they go down towards the second hairpin. Oh, Hattelad as well slings one up the inside. Pajonsky's really going to struggle here. IT43 as well on soft tyres. Looking for a way past. Rob Scott has got the softs on as well. Old Crawler softs. Mediums on for number 1 Pops. Softs on for Ricky J. And softs on for Jonesy. Oh, it's already a punch up. Cutler, D-Dot, Hattelad. Top 3 all on softs. Cutler will be carrying most weight. D-Dot will be carrying a fair chunk as well. Hattelad won't be. So Hattelad might be able to make short work of these two. IT43 also gets himself past Pajonsky into 4th. Pajonsky might lose this at 5th here as well as Rob Scott comes through to take that position off him. He does. Crawler as well on the soft tyre, keeping himself right involved with that fight as his number 1 Pops. Ricky J and Jonesy still tucked into the back end of this one. So maybe Cutler's plan didn't quite come to fruition. Maybe he was hoping that Hattelad could stay in between himself and this pack of 4 that are hunting that top spot off him. Mirrors full. thinks about a move up the inside. IT43 and Hatterlad side by side on the final corner. Will give Hatter the advantage into this first turn. Who's that? Rob Scott in the background as well. He might be able to... Can he follow Hatterlad through? No, he can't, unfortunately. Still side by side, but IT43 gets the power down on the way out, holds on to that third position. Nowhere for any of these drivers to go. Cutler then under threat from D-Dot, but he's got the advantage into this next corner. This third hairpin at this circuit. Look, everybody looking for some kind of direction, some kind of opening. D-Dot gets a good run through that corner though, gets himself a good exit, fires himself past. Does anyone else? Again, IT43's left the door open a little bit, but IT43 not been able to sweep up and get past Cutler. Might be able to now. Could still be on, it's still battles. Let's change this camera up a little bit, but it is D-Dot that's through into first. Cutler and IT43 side by side then as they run down to this second hairpin. Again, door banging through there. Can IT43 hold it next to Cutler? No, he can't, so Cutler holds on to second. IT43 third, Rob Scott fourth. Hatterlad in fifth, Old Crawler in sixth, Pajonski seventh. Slowly falling through the field then Pajonski, unfortunately, with the hard tyres on. Number one Pops in 8th, Ricky J 9th and Jonesy 10th. There he is then, race leader. He's got a bit of free air as well, 1.1 seconds now between himself and Cutler. Has got his own problems with an IT43 and a Rob Scott looking for that position off him. IT43 looking for a way around the outside of turn 1. This is all working in D-Dot's favour. Again, he's carrying 1097 kilos. Cutler is weighing the most. He's at 1109. Who came third in race 2? Hatter? Oh, sorry, it was D-Dot. It was Pajonski that came second. So IT43 now finally makes that work. He's managed to. He's not going to let it go so easy though. Not quite able to get one back up the inside. IT43 has been pressuring that move for a few laps and a few corners, to be honest. Now he's able to go defensive himself and attacking Cutler. He's got Rob Scott as well, almost 3 wide on the way through there. Rob Scott now got his nose up the inside of Cutler, but isn't able to keep the power on. Hatterlad just waiting for one of these three to fire themselves off circuit. A bit of bumper cars through there. Rob Scott's happy to go defensive from an attack from Hatter. Helped him make a move up the inside of Cutler, but it's all allowing D-Dot to escape a little bit. Cutler having to go defensive. Crawler still hanging on to the back end of this fight. He's only 0.8 of a second back from Hatterlad. Ricky J up into 7th, 2.2 seconds back himself from Old Crawler. Pajonski unfortunately moves down another position into 8th. The threat from number one Pops here for that position as well. Number one Pops gets a good exit here. Might be able to get up the inside into turn 1. Not quite able to, but Pajonski goes a bit deep. Number one Pops then threatens to take that off him. Pajonski holds onto it though. Pops 9th, Jones, he's still just 2.9 seconds, or a little bit further back now, 3.2 seconds back in 10th. And look, D-Dot, that punch up behind. 1.9 seconds he's now got to IT43. All of these drivers on the soft tyre as well, I think. Softs on for D-Dot, softs on for IT43, softs on for Cutler, softs on for Rob Scott, softs on for Hatterlad. Old Crawler again on that soft, is now off the back end of Hatter, 1.8 seconds. Time's looking good though. Ricky J actually closing the gap up on him, 1.8 seconds back himself, that was 2.2. Johnsky still managing to fend off number one Pops. I don't know how long that's going to last. Jonesy 4.6 seconds. So 8 minutes in, 7 minutes remaining. D-Dot with a 2-second clear lead from this man, DDR IT43. He's now nearly got a second clear himself between the battle for third. Cutler and Rob Scott. Hatterlad involved in that. Hear them squealing as they come through these hairpins. Pops past Podjonsky. Again, carrying the most weight on the slowest tyre here. Podjonsky, not the most weight. Cutler's carrying the most weight. Can Jonesy catch up with him? D-Dot's finding a little bit of time here and there. He's got that gap up to 2.2 seconds. IT43 not quite clear yet. He's 1.4 seconds ahead of Cutler. That's battle still kicking off for third. Both drivers on the soft tyre, but Cutler carrying the most weight of anybody on circuit. Oof. So Rob Scott carrying a little bit of extra speed, but it's not going to be enough before they hit the final turn. Loses out there as he's got to carry the extra length around that corner while he travels around the outside of Cutler. Again, Cutler peeling over to the right hand side, just going defensive into every turn. Let's have a look from Rob Scott's perspective. You'll see Cutler just holding on to those inside lines as he comes into the hairpin, keeping his car in the middle of the track there. Close enough to defend on that one. So top four, Hatterlad just 1.1, 1.2 seconds back himself to make the top five. Again, Rob Scott made a little bit of a lunge into the final hairpin. Covered that off though. Yeah, closes up on Cutler. To that lighter car, but not enough to be able to make a move into any of these corners. He's getting a really good exit now. Is Cutler going to peel over to the right hand side here to go defensive? Rob Scott not quite close enough. Are they closing up on IT43? I think they might be. Gap out 1.5 seconds. D-Dot 2.1 seconds up the road. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining. IT43 comfortably second at the minute. This battle allowing him to just safely hold on to that position. There you go. Rob Scott then gets his nose up the inside of the hairpin. Can he get the power on the way out? Again, he's a lighter car at the minute. Cutler will gain the slipstream. He is carrying that extra weight. Now he has a look up the inside into this final turn. Rob Scott peels back across the track in front of him. So So Cutler down to 4th, then Hatterlad, can he close the gap back up? 1.6 seconds down, just 3 minutes left on the clock. Again, the softs starting to look worn out and beaten up. Old Crawler still holding 6th, but Ricky J close to him now, just 0.8 of a second back. His softs looking really good actually, he can do another 15 minutes on those. Pajonsky on the hards, managed to get himself back past number 1 Pops. But not out of the woods yet is Pajonsky. Jonesy lost a bit more time, but only 7 seconds back. Again, so far, only 22 seconds separates all the drivers on circuit. Again, looking comfortable here for D-Dots. What are we? 2 minutes left on the race clock. Is going to see them 2 laps then. Rob Scott past Cutler, pulled away now as well, 1.1 seconds. That lighter car just able to work. He's slowly closing up on IT43 as well. This could be interesting when they come up to the line here. There's going to be 2 laps, like I say, but whether Rob Scott can close the gap enough. The 10th, unfortunately. Maybe IT43 seen that himself, decided to stick the hammer down a little bit. Hatterlad losing a bit more time. Old Crawler slowly catching up with him, dragging Ricky J along for the ride as well. So look at Hatterlad's softs, absolutely beaten up. And then we look at Old Crawler's softs, they're looking pretty good as, alongside Ricky J's. Might have to just be a little bit careful here then. Oh, Hatterlad's come in the pits. I don't think you had damage, did you, Hatter? IT43, or is it D-Dot's tyres maybe? Lost a bit of that lead down to 1.8 seconds. Again, this is going to be the final lap, so he's only got to hold on to it till he crosses the line. IT43 has had that gap reduced between himself and Rob Scott. It is just 0.7 of a second. He runs off circuit there as well. He's going to have dirty tyres now. The gap is coming down. Can Rob Scott get a good run up this back straight? IT43 goes defensive over to that right hand side, but it is going to be D-Dot that takes the win here in race 3. There he goes. IT43 just takes 2nd place. Rob Scott takes 3rd. Cutler takes 4th. Old Crawler takes 5th. Ricky J takes 6th. Jonsky is going to come home for 7th. Pops takes 8th. Jonesy is going to come home for 9th as he tries to drift this mini using the handbrake. Boy, Hatterlad. Yeah, no damage, but Hatterlad's going to come in last. There it is, another win under the belt. He did say he was coming for the top 5 tonight. Let's see next week what that does for the tables. He's had some good results tonight, D-Dot, so let's see if that allows him to climb the tables. Let's see where he ends up. But there was just 1 point between Rob Scott and Pajonsky coming into these 3 races. This track is just one of those tracks. I think Hatter, it's so punchy that if you don't go for those moves, you know, there's nowhere to get past. It is just one of those race tracks, unfortunately. I did see some naughty driving. I did see a couple of little dinks and punts and stuff, but again, it's just one of them circuits. It's too tight. It's not too tight. Makes for great racing, but it also allows for easy offs, unfortunately. Yeah, I think it's just something that happens at this particular circuit. Because you know, if you get the inside line into one corner, you obviously get the better drive out, blah blah blah. Then but you're still having to defend into the next corner, into the next corner, into the next corner. It is ridiculous. But that is it. All 3 races done and dusted. Round 7 done and dusted. So that is Tsukuba for this season finished with. We will be back same time, same place next week, Monday at 8:30. I myself am back on, well, I'll be back tomorrow night as I do a catch-up with the Team Oliver Racing from last week. And then I'm back on Wednesday night at 8:30 for this week's Team Oliver Racing round. And then again, same time, same place next week for the minis. That's currently all we've got going on at the minute, but there's plenty more coming up. The P1 boys have got a couple of leagues coming up. GTTCC has been chatted about and stuff is happening there, so that'll be the Friday nights taken up. But yes, same time, same place next week, 8:30 UK time, and Wednesday night 8:30 for the Team Oliver Racing. That's what we've got on. Other than that, I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Most of all, tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.